Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Simply BI. My name is Harshit and today we are going to learn something about data source settings in Power BI. Now, let's say that you have the Power BI desktop file. Okay, you can see the data on the right hand side. Now, I want to change the source of the data. Okay, or maybe the path of the data, or maybe let's say the login credentials. So, how can I do this? Okay, so for this, I need to go to the Power Query editor. So, how do we do that? We just click on the transform data. This will take us to the Power Query editor window. Now, let's say that your this data which you have over here, it is connected to a development database. Now, once your development is done, okay, I need to connect it with a different database. Okay, so I need to change the name of the database, let's say. Okay, so how can I do this? On the home tab, you can see there is a data source settings option. Just click on this. Okay, now, this here will give you the information of all the sources from where your data is loaded. You can see I have 3 Excel files and one is the OData field. Now, in this Excel file source, okay, I want to change the path of the Excel file. So how can I do this? Just select the file, okay, and click on change source. So here you can enter the path you want to enter or you want to change. Okay. Now, so let's say if you want to change the login credential, so for this OData feed, okay. So how can you do this? So select this, go to edit permissions, okay, and click on edit over here, okay. So now here you can enter your own login credentials, okay. As you can see, this is logged in from my credentials. So you can change the login credentials as well. Great. Now, most of the time, the people want to see like how can we change the format of a column. Okay, for example, let's say we have the orders table over here and we have the order date table over column over here. So I want to change the format of this order date column. Okay, I want, let's say the format is a DD I want to change this to MMDDYYYY or some other format. Okay, so how can we do that? So let me tell you, this is not possible in the Power Query editor window. You need to load the data into the Power BI desktop. So let's proceed to that. So we click here, close and apply. Okay. Now the data is loaded into this. So what we do here is, let's say we go to the table view. Okay. And we have selected the orders table. Great. So now here I want to change the format of this order date. Okay. Or let's say ship date. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select the ship date. Okay. On the above, you can see there's an option under column tools like format. So just drop down and you can see there are many formats. Okay. And you can select one of the format which you wish to change. Okay. Great. So let's say, okay. So let's say I'm going to do it as DDMMYY format. So I just clicked on this and this is being done. Now, another thing is, let's say we have a fright column over here. Okay. Now you can see there are some decimal values. There are only 2 decimal values. Okay. After the decimal point. So if I want to increase the decimal values or decrease it, how can I do this? So under this column tools only, you can see there's an auto. Okay. Just click on this. So I want, let's say 3 decimal digits. Okay. So just click on this and enter. So now this, you can see here, it has 3 decimal places or it has 3 decimal digits after the point. Okay. Now, also, you can add commas over here. Okay. Also, let's say you want to change this flight or you want to add a currency to this flight. So how flight? Okay. How you can do this? Just click on this and you can add whatever currency symbol you want to add. Let's say I want to add dollars. So I'll just use this over here. And you can see the entire column has a dollar sign in front of the value. Great. Okay. Uh, yes. One more thing to note here, that we do not have the custom format option as we have in the Excel. Okay. So now once it is done, so let's go to this report view again. Okay. Now, I hope that you have understood like how can we change the format of a column, okay, in Power BI. Now, let's see something, okay. Let's see some concept about the fill data. So we again go to the Power Query editor, just click on this, okay. We go to this fill up table, okay, first of all. Now, if you see this table over here, it consists of 2 columns, that is the state column and the city column. Now, you can see that we have this Maharashtra state and the cities over here. Okay, all the cities over here. And we have the Chhattisgarh, we have all the cities over here, and we have Madhya Pradesh and all the cities over here. But I want this Madhya Pradesh and I want this Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra to be filled in all of the values over here. Okay, so how can we do this? So just select the column, go to the transform tab, and there is an option called fill. Okay, so I want to fill up the values, so I'll just click on up and done. Okay. Same thing, if you want to do it downwards, you can do it over here. Again, go to this fill option in transform tab and fill down this tab. Done. Now, one thing to note here that in this table, I have two columns, okay? State and the city. While I was in the fill up column, you can see that state and city were the column headers. Here, they are not the column headers. So how can I make them as the column headers? Very easy. Just click on this table and the second option, use first row as headers. Now you have the state and the city as the column headers. Okay, great. So now let us learn about a concept of transpose. Okay, so what do I mean by transpose? Let's go to first this transpose table. Here in the transpose table, there are four columns you can see. Okay. Now what I want is I want to transpose the rows into columns and columns into rows. So this region, country, and city, I want it in the column side as the column values, and the data in column 2, 3, 4, I want it below it. Okay. So how can we do this? So what we're going to do, we're just going to go to the home transform tab. Okay. And we're just going to click on the transpose option. So now here you can see that there are three columns, that is a region, country, and city, and the values are under it. And we can do one thing, we can choose first row as headers. Great. Okay. Now, so now let us understand about the concept of pivot and unpivot in Power Query Editor. Now let's go to this budget data tab. Okay. Now there are three columns over here: year, month, and the budget. Okay. This data contains the budget of 5 years. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we just want the year in. We want the year which is mentioned over here. It is filled completely. I want the data of only 5 years. Let's say 2020, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And I want gender, or I want the months in the form of the columns. So how can we do that? Okay. So we want the months in the form of columns. So just we click on the month data. Okay. Go to this pivot option over here under the transform data tab. So once I click on pivot, okay, it will ask you what is the value column. So here the value column is the budget. Select budget and click on OK. So here so now you can see here that the year is in column 1, okay, and a subsequent column contains of all the months and the details of the budget. Okay. Now if I want to unpivot it, how can we do this? These columns like January, February, and all the months name into the tabular format like it was earlier. So how can I do this? Do one thing, just select all the months, okay, all the months column, and in the option only you can see in the transform option there is an option for unpivot. So just you can see here that unpivot columns, unpivot other columns other than you have selected, or unpivot only the selected columns. So we just click on unpivot columns and you can see here you have the details like it was previous year. So this is the nothing but year, it is the month name. So we'll just name it as month, and this value here is the budget. Okay, great. So I hope this concept of pivoting and unpivoting is clear to everyone. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions to ask, if you have any doubts, please post your queries in the comment section. I'll be happy to help. Okay. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more.